I've got my models. Ah,
Hello.
hello
Um,
again.
it's us again. Maybe some people will join. For those of you who are watching this for the first time, wondering what on earth we talked about, we just nailed the opening 10 minutes of our show, and then all hell broke loose. And we've had to restart, which is a shame because I'm not gonna lie, I really nailed a bit. And I went, what do you think, Jack? And then
Yeah, we talked about so much stuff, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we actually did the entire show. To be honest, guys,
yeah,
if you missed it, unlucky. We're just here to do the sign off because obviously we only missed it at the end.
Yeah,
Um,
I think we solved Warhammer in that time. I
we did
think we
actually.
told everyone exactly what you need to do, and especially
Yeah,
in order to speak Victor's Guide. Actually, what
yeah.
we did reveal is what's happening exactly in the advanced data slate as well.
Yeah,
So
we spoke about heavy intercessors just getting -1 damage and becoming 10 points cheaper. That's
Honestly,
just
I
that's the
couldn't
thing.
believe it. Man,
It
the
was so
drops to
good.
the drops to the Tervagon as well were
Oh
unreal.
yeah, the Tervagon was amazing. It's the fact that Termagants now actually, when they die, they res the Tervagon as well. It's really good.
It's
Really good.
crazy, isn't it? I
It's just crazy.
never thought that had been the case.
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
now just doing a Terminator because I'm now Terminator main, as everyone knows.
he is a Terminator main. So anyway, welcome back everyone. If you are finding us, apologies for that. Absolutely no idea what's going on. But hey, we're here. That's all that matters. Apparently.
Chris, I think your mic is making funny noises.
It's making like it sounds like Joe, like the alien from Alien Earth recently that's been on Disney Plus. So
Is it okay now?
it's fine now.
It
Actually,
seems to be fine now. It was just it's for a moment there. It was not okay. So.
It was showing me and Jack up for a mug because like it just stopped as soon as we mentioned it. You know. So,
it did actually.
One day we'll get fed up with EV Mux and move on to something else. But anyway, welcome back, everyone. I actually have no idea at what point I cut out.
So effectively, we were at the point where we were like, welcome to the show, guys. We're going to be looking at what's going on with the Grotmus detachments. Here is a slideshow to say about certain Grotmus detachments, and we're going to be looking at those things. And that is effectively where we were. And now, while I'm talking, it's going to be a seamless transition to the PowerPoint. And by the time I stop talking, Chris can carry on. And there we go.
Nailed it. Gosh. Anyway. So, recently there have, of course, been some new detachments. So, let's start off with the new Guard one. Now, I imagine, Jack, that Nassim is a reasonably happy boy with the Guard one.
Well, I mean, given that the first message I got within, I think it was literally 2 minutes of the detachment coming out was, "I'm taking Guard to Alpine Cup." Probably sums up all you need to know. Admittedly, I'm not. This detachment worries me a little bit because I think all it does is just build on the things about Guard that already feel kind of bad for people playing against Guard. But I can see why Guard players would be very hyped about this.
Absolutely. It's seems to have a nice power level. Have you had a look at it yet, Ed?
Yes, I have. It's like, to be honest, it's basically they've gone right. Why was Guard too good over the last year? I know we're going to give them all of that back, and then it will be fine, and we won't learn from any of our mistakes. And that's effectively the vibe I got from that detachment. It's like, do you know what they needed? Ignore cover and extra AP without having to fire extra activations, stuff like that, to save themselves some points. So I think the Guard detachment looks very, very good. I do agree with Jack that it's basically just built on all the things that they've fixed already, but they've just brought it back. Like now Ogrins can take orders again. Scions will be back, just stuff like that. It's just like, great.
One of the things that in our chat has been discussed is the return of indirect. Obviously, we all love indirect. Does this detachment enable a Guard player to spam indirect and actually make everyone's life miserable?
God, I hope not. I haven't even thought about that.
I hadn't even thought about that lane, but now that you've mentioned it, there probably is a lane for it there somewhere.
Yeah.
Look! Speaking of the resident Guard expert, Naz has appeared.
Oh, there are Naz. Is everyone going to start running loads of indirect? Is that the way forward? Because that obviously, I mean, if we think about times when we enjoy 40k and times when we don't enjoy 40k, indirect type meta is one which creates quite a miserable play experience. And I know a few people in our chat were kind of discussing it. As I said, I haven't particularly looked at this detachment. But if it obviously has that route because of its stratagems and that sort of thing, that's potentially not a good sign. So I'll let Nassim put a comment in there on whether
He just has. He said
Yep.
9 mortars or bust, and it's the most depressing message I've seen all day. I could have found out. I could have found out some really bad news today, and it still would not have been as bad as the news that Naz wrote that message in this exact chat while we're talking about this exact attachment.
195 points for 9d6, hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s to hit on wound. Good. Excellent.
Great. I'm so
Brilliant.
glad we've got this again.
Oh god! And it's literally everything they got rid of. Everything they got rid of. Everything they got rid of that was like this guard are too good because of X, Y, and Z. Let's just bring all that back and it'll be fine because obviously the meta's aged and it's now fine for the guard, right? And it's just not going to be at all.
The thing is, right, it's not even the power of this stuff I have an issue with. It's the fact that it's all of the stuff that people felt bad about playing against guard before, right? Where it's like, all of my units become so ungodly efficient with orders. I've got this dumb indirect package at the back you can't do anything about. I've got 800 orders in my list, so it doesn't actually matter that there's, I've actually got to issue them because I've got enough of them. And now you can have Bulgrim back that are hitting on 2s in combat again, so they now go back to beating pretty much every melee unit in the game in a one-on-one fight,
5 turns.
which is great. We didn't need that back, did we?
No.
I mean, I'm looking forward to Guard maybe having another detachment that was good. I just didn't want it to be like this, where I think it's just going to replace the old one.
It's like what happened with the thing is though, if you look at the 2 detachments that have been released around the same time, I know I'll touch on those in a second, but like the other 2 are fantastic. Like, as in, they're just really cool. They're good. Like, not as in like broken, but they're just good additions to the game. Like, I think as a standpoint from a Grotmus detachment and the way that those have been written, they're really good, right? Not as in competitive, like that, but I think they have competitive options, right? But I just think the Guard one, they just completely missed the mark. But on the Night Lords and the Blood Angels one, they've done a really good job.
Yeah, it's unlike them to miss the mark with Guard, so that's
every damn year.
It's the same they've done it this time.
Guys, they're only probably 43% win rate at the minute. It's fine.
It's true.
If I hear Nas say that, I'm going to be very upset with him.
Well, that was the David Gaylard argument, wasn't it?
It wasn't a good argument. It doesn't mean it was a good argument.
It was a David Gaylard argument. They have got a load in it. So, okay, anyway, so of a similar power level, obviously, is the Night Lords detachment. Again, I must admit, this is another one I haven't actually really looked at. Despite we've got 2 Night Lord mains, all I've heard about is some Lord with a unit of 10 Warp Talons. That's as good as I know. So, anyone want to jump in and tell me why this is spicy or not spicy?
Sure. So you can basically, one of the issues with Warp Talons that they used to have, or probably still have now, is whenever they charge a unit of Warp Talons to do something, they have this, probability sometimes where they just don't quite do what they're meant to do.
Sure.
And that means that the thing survives, and then you've just got 10 dudes sat in front of an army, and then the army kills it, right? Now, having a Lord be able to join this squad is good for a couple of reasons. Number one, it gives the unit scout. So if you can get an easy kill for turn 1, go back up in the air, you get the threat for rapid English turn 2, and you get a kill for free, right? But the main addition to this is it ups the damage of that unit just a bit more, which means it makes it just that little bit more reliable to kill a unit and then go back up in the air, which is super valuable to a Warp Talon unit. Because obviously at the moment you've seen Innis use it on the stream that he did, on the stream that we did with Nas and Innis on there. You basically have to have a maths degree to use that unit because you've got to work out the exact damage you've got to do. That you're using your twin link. So you're attacking with some units first and trying not to kill stuff, and then attacking with the next unit and trying to. And it's basically, it provokes this ridiculously high level of play that you need to use these effectively, which we like because, that's cool. But having the Lord in there just gives you a little bit more redundancy, a little bit more damage there. So it's much more likely for you to kill the 2 units. But another thing is the Scout is nice. The Lord adds some damage to the unit, and I think you'll see that unit a lot. Also, if you go into something that's battle shocked or below half strength or both, they are going to throw out 40 attacks with sustained rerolls to hit, +1 to wound, and AP3. They can have AP3 as well if they're going to something battle shocked. So that one unit, obviously, this has a lot of hoops to jump through.
Yep.
Well, I say a lot. It's basically has to be battle shocked, right? But you've got raptors that cause battle shock. You've got 2 strats separately that cause different like battle shock tests at different times. Raptors cause it themselves. They have a modifier to it. All of the actual all of the actual battle shock modification in that detachment has a natural -1 modifier as well. On top of the Raptors, you're going to be taking it a -2. On top of that, you have Nemesis Claw. On top of that, you can have Cypher. So basically, you're just not having strats against that army because they're like, oh, you want to fight on death? No. You want to have Yellow Bloods? No. Because all their strats also work on their shooting units too. So you basically have +1 to hit, +1 to wound, shooting units. You can get rerolls to hit on them as well. It's just, you got a lot of damage there. But the issue is the detachment is very CP hungry because it's got a lot of good strats. So I think that'll be the part where it gets a bit more balanced. It'll play a good Warhammer, and it's quite cute and it's cool. So I think you'll see people use it.
Yes, excellent. Jack, anything else?
It's a really interestingly done detachment, and I think there is something there. I just think it's going to take someone who is better at CSM than me to find it. That person might be Liam VSL, because I've heard he's been talking about giving it a go. Because from what I can see, basically, I think the thing that will really define what the build ends up being is exactly how hard you have to push into the battle shock modifying mechanics to make that detachment work. Because obviously, if you have to spend half or more of your points in manipulating battle shock in some way to make the detachment work, yeah, it's probably a bit high of an investment, maybe. But I'm sure once people work out what the perfect amount is, I actually think it'll be a very good detachment.
Yeah, I actually think you can get enough battle shock tech in there with because a lot of the battle shock tech that comes from the detachment and comes from the strats as well. So I can see a world where they just have 3 to 5 raptors, and they're just good in that detachment anyway. They cause battle shocks. They make your other stuff better. So I can definitely see a world where just 3 to 5 raptors is enough. I don't know if there's anything else that causes battle shock and CSM, but I think that'll probably be a damn good start. Also, just having a raptor squad that can run off, kill something, go back up in the air is fun.
True.
It's just fun, because I think that gives, as long as you have ways to make the units that you have to purchase and invest into have value, whilst also fulfilling the role of giving the battle shock tech, I think that'll be the thing that defines the list. And I think the Chaos Lord in a raptor squad that can go off, kill something, go back up in the air, land again next turn, do a battle shocks on something, warp talons go in, goes back up in the air again. I think that rotation of unit and that rotation of play will actually provoke some really interesting games. And someone who's a really high level player can really use that detachment to some really nasty abilities, I think. But I just read the detachment, and that was basically where I'm at. It looks really interesting, and it's one of the best done Grotmas detachments I think I've seen, because it's interesting. It can be good. It's really Night Lords-esque. It's it fits the floor down to a T. I'm a big fan. I like it.
Yeah, excellent. And that's what you want, right? You want a detachment that makes someone excited to play their army and have the power if used correctly, not someone to stick a bunch of mortars at the backfield.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, of course, we have the Blood Angels one. It's been quite an interesting one. It, for me, felt a bit of a hybrid detachment. It's got elements of lag. It's got elements of Inheritors. It's got a few other kind of changes. Blood Angels players seem pretty happy with it. And I saw some maths earlier, and it was like you can kill a lot of things with certain builds of this detachment due to the nature of the strats and enhancements and that sort of thing. So it's going to be an incredibly killy detachment. Do we think it's going to become the new meta choice for Blood Angels, or is lag and angelic still potentially better?
I think that angelic players are going to keep playing angelic because they like angelic. I think that's basically where I'm leaning there. Because if they weren't using lag, they won't pivot to this for the same reasons. I think it's very good. I think it's a very good detachment. I think people will use it. Like if I was going to pick up BA, I would be using it.
Yep.
The amount of attacks you can produce from units by forcing them to battle shocked and then have the and then have their actual chargeability as well, because you use a strat to make them, give them +1 strength, +1 attack, and then they become battle shocks. So you get +2 attack from the detachment rule as well. Like you can end up with like 6. Well. Yeah, I think you can end up with like 6 attack AP, 3 power fists, which it's pretty good. So I can see the value. And they have a fight on death. They have basically this detachment is like this detachment is literally combat manipulation on crack, because you're going to have so much fight first. We can say so much. You can have Sanguinor and Mephisto if you really want to, but like the main thing is you're going to have a fight first brick from an enhancement. You're going to have maybe 1 or 2 fight first characters. You're going to have a fight on death on tap for 2 CP. You have a sticky on death strat with units of with Blood Angel units. You've got a 5 at Feel No Pain, which on the Lamarty's brick is absolutely saft. Like damage 2 just bounces off it. And you've still got AOC and advance and charge and fall back and charge, I think. But those are these strats, and the actual detachment rules are really good as well, and the enhancements are great. The +1 strength aura, that's crazy. Especially if you can get +1 strength on from a strat as well, so you can basically get strength 10 anyway without lag, and you get all the extra attacks on top of it by having the detachment rule as well. So and you get reroll 1s to wound. Because why not? That's just something that you add on top. So I think it's really good. I think if you're going to choose lag or this, I think you choose this. But I think the angelic detachment, I think the angelic players will probably just still carry on playing angelic because they like angelic. Do you know what I mean? Like if they weren't pivoting to lag, they're probably not going to pivot to this.
Sure. This is the killing. Angelic has a bit more of the control.
It's a bit more nuance.
Yeah, absolutely. Jack, are you now about to become a Blood Angels main?
I mean, don't be wrong. Like Ed says, I think that's a very, very good looking detachment. I think there's a bunch of people that will still play lag because they don't have to sit there worrying about auras and being near this and being near that. They can just run MSU trading units and kill people. But yeah, it's a really nice addition to see.
Yeah.
No, I fully agree. And it made me. I mean, I have a burgeoning Blood Angels army, blue one. And it did make me think, well, if I've got some coaching calls and stuff coming up, then I definitely would like to give it a go. It does seem quite fun. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Obviously, we've still got 3 to come, which have kind of the titles may or may not have been leaked. They are out there, but we will address them next Monday. Now, obviously, the other thing that GW have announced is that we've got a balance update coming. I think it would be fair to say that if Victrix Guard are not touched, then there may be some sort of absolute public meltdown. So aside from Victrix Guard, and they'll be addressed in either through points or through restrictions, I guess we all know that's almost certainly going to get touched. So what else are we expecting to get touch? Let's start with you, Ed. Tell me one thing that you think needs a little bit of a nerf.
Well, I know that Jack's going to go after my army, so I'll go after his. Okay. Sanctifiers. Well, not even Sanctifiers, but I think Sisters might need a touch of some description somewhere. I don't think they need anything major, but like they feel a bit too efficient in some areas, especially if you nerf everything else around it. So yeah, I think that'd be one. That's my one thing so far, because it feels like they're sort of back to the way they were, not as bad, but like getting close to back where they were. Well, you have they have loads of miracle dice. You have the Vol brick running around doing all the things that they want. You have like flamers that move 21 inches and shoot and kill stuff, all that sort of thing. Obviously, not the only thing that I think should get touched, and I don't think it should get hit the hardest out of the things that we're about to mention. But I do think Sisters would benefit from a slight readjustment.
Nice. So Sisters are going to hopefully get a slight readjustment according to Ed. Jack, what is one army that you think needs a bit of an adjustment?
Oh, well, I think Eldar needs an adjustment, guys.
How strange.
But again, it's not. I don't think it's big adjustments that are needed to these armies. They're armies that are, they've clearly got a little bit too much stuff. Maybe there is a unit in there or two that shouldn't be there. And I think that's true with Eldar Admech ancestors, and I think the game would benefit greatly from removing a couple units from all of those armies. Admech maybe need a bit more than that, but
Yeah.
maybe removing 3 or 4 units from the Admech might be what's needed there. But I would like it to be not one of those nerfs where factions are completely thrown into the bin because people have been complaining online about them.
They'll get like the double nerf, right? That's a classic G.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would like to see not happen.
Yeah, I would agree.
Small tweaks.
I think Eldar might need more than a small tweak, and I'm an Eldar player, so like I won't lie. Like I think the thing is, I don't actually think it's points that might. I think there might be maybe to an extent, but I think it's the rules with Eldar that are really really bad. Like say for instance, just it's they're getting back in. I've always said this before. I think they're getting back in strat should be 2 CP. Like it just doesn't feel like it's because then you'd have to buy Eldrad to be able to do it consistently every turn. Then you're actually taking in a 110 point tax to be able to try and do that sort of thing, which is actually quite a lot. And then on top of a few points nerfs here and there, I think that's basically what they need. But I think just fixing Eldar with points, and if you fix Eldar with points and they still have that Fugan brick that just goes, I'm going to move 21 inches, I'm going to go kill that, I'm going to get back in. I think it's still going to be an issue. So I think they need to fix that as a core problem. And then sort of see what happens from there. But I think the 2 CP get back in strat would be the first way to go.
Sure. No, that makes sense. Okay, so that's the things that need bringing down slightly. What would we like brought up, Jack? What's an army you think needs a bit of love?
Can we finally get some actual Imperial Agents changes, please?
Okay.
I know they get obviously left alone as this is just the ally army. They're not supposed to be run as an actual army, but it's like that book has been out long enough, guys, that we've had like 4 data slates, maybe 5, while that book's been out, and they have not been changed once.
Do you get points then, or do they need unit datasheet rewrites?
Well, I think trying to datasheet rewrite everything would be a bit much, but just improving some of the detachments would be a good start. I think that one of the obvious ones is like the one that most people play, where you have to choose between having +1 to hit versus a target and having an objective where you get +1 OC and a 4-up invuln on. How about you just get both? Right, they're hardly going to become game breaking anytime soon. Just something, it doesn't seem like it needs a lot. Just a little bit of attention to show that at least you're thinking about the book still.
Them, right? Yeah, because at the moment, as you say, if they're not got a good win rate and they're not being touched, so it's almost like GW are just saying, well, we put it out there, but we're not actually supporting it. We want to support the other stuff, which is a shame for all 3 of the Imperial Agent players out there. Ed, apart from heavy intercessors, what would you like?
Damn it, you beat me to it.
What would you like being adjusted?
I think, to be honest, it's going to be one of those things where the game feels really balanced at the moment. And things that I would want to change would be like individual units that I'd play that I'd want to see leveled up a little bit more. Which is not just heavy intercessors, but stuff like, I'm trying to think of an example. Like, just change, like say for instance, Terminators. I do love Terminators, and I think they're so close to being very good.
Yep.
And I'd like to see a bit more with that. But yeah, apart like specific armies, probably not much. Yeah. To be honest, I'm kind of happy with where it is right now. I think Jack's got onto something with the Imperial Agents. They have been out long enough now that they should probably be respected as an army. But yeah, apart from that, probably maybe try to make Custodes a little bit more viable, but it's very hard to make them viable whilst also
such a fine line, isn't it?
It's so hard to balance that they either run through you or get beaten up. And also Fulgrim should walk through walls and charge through walls. Let's just do that, guys. He's on a dinner plate. Let him have it. People are going to block you anyway. Yeah. Because guess what? They can just block the physical space you're going to land. So if that's the case, just let him do it. It's fine. It's entirely fine. I think that's where it goes. Also, Mike asked an interesting question that I thought I'd just bring up before we move on from that. Yeah. He said, do you think it's time for a bigger general rules change in preparation for 11th edition, i.e. mounted can move through walls, tank shock for monsters, also update the tournament missions? I have an opinion on this, but what do you guys think?
Go on then, Jack. Is it time? Is it likely?
I don't think I would make big game changing. like editions at this point. I think we're going to get 11th edition next year. We're maybe 6 months away from that tops. Let's just play the last 6 months of 10th edition as 10th edition. Ideally in its most balanced form that we can make, but we'll see. And yeah, I wouldn't make any huge sweeping changes at this point, I don't think.
I think for me, as soon as let's say you made the one change, like mounted can go through walls, like all that. Well, what that will happen is suddenly there's a lot of opportunity for finding what does this mean, like is this a good or a bad thing, but it'd be an incredibly hard thing to balance, and I'm not sure at this stage whether GW really have that much focus on 10th edition to want to have to make that small change and then suddenly reassess every single mounted unit in the game. Right, as soon as they make these rules changes, it completely affects the balance of every unit, and they then have to deep dive every unit if they want to try and come up with a balanced product, because it just reshapes the fundamental balancing act that they've already done. So yes, in some ways, I think at face value it's very fun and exciting, and it would feel like, yes, we've got something new to think about. I think it's probably it might be asking a bit too much. And we've been playing 10th, we've kind of got used to these rules. I guess for me, I'm personally quite happy to just sort of be like, well, this is 10th edition in a nutshell. Let's hopefully keep it balanced, and then hopefully they can make some adjustments in 11th that make the game a bit more fun, for me anyway. What's your thought then, Ed?
I'm basically with Jack. I don't think we should make big changes to 10th just with this round the corner. And you've also touched on it as well, where if you make changes like that, every single mounted unit in the game is pointed for it to not be go through walls. And the level of impact certain units this would have on is higher and lower, and it can be completely impossible to balance. And you'd fully send 10th edition into the end times, because you'd just be like there'd be units you don't even think of. Like, I don't know, I'm not saying this would actually be viable. Like, add mech, little, horsey dudes. And maybe they just suddenly turn up with 27 of those dudes. I don't know. But there's going to be armies out there with units that these units have been very much so planned to be mounted, so they cannot walk through walls. Or do you really want 30 or do you really want rough riders moving through walls? I don't know. I feel like no at the moment. I feel like if you can make those changes, you wait for the 11th edition to come around, and we make those changes there, and we can all go through it together and be sad when Eldar are broken again, and I'll be very happy. It's my general theory.
Harlequin jet bikes, they're back. They'll be back, baby. That's what we want. We want all the Sky Weavers. But thank you for sending us completely off track, Mike. That was really kind of you. So that's our thoughts. Obviously, next Monday we will be back to tell you all our thoughts on the Grotmas and the balanced data slate. There'll obviously be a bunch of 6++ content about that as well, so keep an eye out. Now, let's head over to our event for the week. Unfortunately, I don't get to talk about how Jack Type won another UKTC Super Major. So instead, we have to talk about another member of War Masters. So Nassim here, number one. I mean, those are some quite impressive scores: 100, 100, 95, 91, slacking, 98, 100, and 100. He really revolutionized the meta here with his Space Marine list. So let's just deep dive into what we are all aware is, of course, the current meta menace. So Gladius Task Force got Sicarius, Gravis Armor, Tone of Combi Weapon, Calgar Ventris, Ballistus Dreadnought, Redemptor Dreadnought. So he's gone for 4 Dreadnoughts, whereas people like Josh Roberts are running 3 Ballistus. And then we've got Scout Squad, and then we've got, some lovely Victrix Guard. Jack, obviously, Nassim. Was this Nassim special? Is it just a ridiculous list? What are your thoughts?
I mean, it is just a ridiculous list. Let's be honest. The Victrix Guard list is not okay. It works well enough even when the Victrix have died. I'll be honest, I've watched a couple games he played over the weekend where actually his opponents have killed 2 bricks of Victrix pretty quickly. And then they've just been owned by 4 Dreadnoughts and a remaining brick of Victrix, probably the one with Calgar in it. And it just walks through the rest of their army. watching him play it, he's literally just been running it at people, from what I can tell.
It's what Harley said.
Obviously, not to take anything away from Naz, of course. I think
Of course.
Naz is probably one of, if not the best player in the UK. But this list is not okay, and it has no subtlety to it. So there we are.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we are obviously all expecting something to happen to it on Wednesday. So in all reality, it's not actually worth trying to talk about different variations, talk about how to beat it. If next Monday GW has done the unthinkable and not touched it, then of course that'll be the breaking news of the thing. But other than that, well done, Naz. Obviously, he's destroyed everyone with it, and takes a lot of skill to be able to do that. No matter the opponent. So well done, mate, especially with those scores. In a more interesting element, so the top cut here, so we've got double Eldari, and we had an Eldari mirror here, in which Clement beat Manny 85 to 80. Clement obviously being an Eldari specialist. So we've got Aspect Host here from Clement. Let's see if he's done anything funky here. So we've got Fragan, Janezar, and Lycus. So no Asserman. And then we've got unit of Void Reavers, unit of Storm Guardians, a Wave Serpent. He's got Dark Reapers here, which you don't always see. So he's got 3 units of 5 Dark Reapers. Dark Reaper fanboys out there and the people who think they're a waste of time. It's quite an interesting split. We've then got 10 Fire Dragons, only 1 unit of Banshees, a unit of Rangers, Shroud Runners, that's quite funky, 10 Sweeping Hawks, which haven't necessarily been that popular on UKTC terrain, and 5 Sweeping Hawks, and then we have got the obligatory 3 units of Wart Spiders. So there's something slightly different here, Ed. Obviously, you've been playing a lot of Aspect Host. What do you think about this list?
It's very good. Obviously he has less Banshees than I would probably want. But the 10-man Hawk unit is really good. I've always enjoyed it. I've always been an enjoyer of it. That with crit 5s and lethal and sustain is pretty good. So I'm quite a big fan. But I think the main thing here is I don't use Dark Reapers because does it have the indirect or the missile launchers on the Dark Reapers?
He has the Tempest launchers.
Yeah, Tempest launchers. I think the Tempest launchers are useless, but I keep seeing people use them, and I keep seeing people win with them. So I know I'm wrong, but I don't know whether it's because I just don't roll 12s, man. It's sad. Yeah. I just don't roll 12s and 10 hits with Tempest launchers and win games. I can't do it.
I just don't think they're just not very conducive to a turn 2 all in it. That's the problem.
Yeah,
right.
It's you don't measured game.
Yeah, right. Like Clement's list is a much more measured, slow trading type of Eldar list, I think. Whereas I think the other Manny type Eldar list is just commit violence.
Absolute violence.
It is indeed, and I'm a big fan.
So this is really cool here. Now, Ed, you actually have an interview booked in with Matthew McCurdy, don't you?
I do. Matt's not very well at the moment because I think he's also got some flu Nurgle thing. Yeah. So, but ultimately, I'm going to try and tie it with him for Thursday or Friday. But I really like this list. I think he's absolutely nailed it. he's come forth in the Super Major. Yeah, he is. He is the Space Wolf man.
He's the Space Wolf. He's been doing really well. I mean, I remember when I was playing Eldar at Coventry 2 years ago now, and he was like on the top tables there as one of the undefeated, and along with someone else who was playing Space Wolves, who I ended up playing into. So he's been just on them for like a really long period of time. Yeah. So Ed, do you want to talk us through why this list? So it's Stormlance. So we've got Rockfist, Bjorn the Fell-Handed, Lieutenant with Combi Weapon, Logan Grimnar, Wolf Priest. Then we've got unit of Intercessors, and then we've got 6 Thunderwolf Cavalry, 3 Thunderwolf Cavalry, and then we've got Venerable Dreadnought, 6 Head Takers, and then a unit of Wolfguard Terminators, another unit of Wolfguard Terminators. This is a 10-man this time, and then we've got the Spicy Wolf Scouts. and I don't even know how many people in there. Is it five guys in there?
5 guys and a wolf.
And he's got 2 units of those. If you want to check him out playing it, it is on the UKTC stream. So, Ed, why is this a good list?
So honestly, I think this is just a bit of everything. If you look at it from a base point of view, it's not like it's not reinventing the wheel, but it's taking the good stuff and taking a really balanced approach with a few different, just good units that you know and love. And I think he just played it really well. So I think, but the thing is, I think that the 10-man Terminator brick is obviously a massive problem for certain people.
Yep.
That being able to deep strike turn 1 and then advance and charge somewhere is a pain in the backside of people. There's a lot of pressure in this list as well. That Venerable Dreadnought can advance, can do +1 to advanced charges and all that sort of thing. So you can basically close the gaps on your KTC balls a lot more reliably from that. The 6-man Thunderwolf cavalry unit obviously just runs off and goes somewhere and is annoying. It's just a lot of pressure, and if it's not in your face turn 1, it will be turn 2. And the one thing that Matt McCurdy excels at a lot is pressure. So there's the famous memes of when Nas played against Wolf Jail, and this was the man who put Nas in the bin when all those memes turned up. But that Matt just plays it really well, and he's a pressure main, as it were.
Yes.
And as I'm sure, you've played him before as well, haven't you, Matt?
I've played him 3 times, I think.
He's a pleasure to play against as well. Such a nice guy. And he's just very good at throwing his army at people and being like, I'm going to pass those saves and you're going to die. So yeah, I think he's just played it really well, and he's just got the main thing that I will say is the most interesting part about this is the Wolf Scouts. And Venerable Dread, because I was told that a lot of people take Venerable Dreads, but I haven't really seen them very much around. Because I think it's 140 points +1 to advance and charge is what I saw, but then you actually got an actual little 4-up invuln, high toughness, good combat piece, just running around and advancing and charging and being annoying. But the Scouts are interesting because they get the Scout 7, so they get to infiltrate in Scout 7. The wolf in the unit can go at the front and then go at the back and then move 10, so you can sort of get a further distance in, and then they can advance and charge. So that unit can deploy from safety to in someone's face pretty efficiently. And if no one's within 6 inches of a wolf scout unit, they get +1 to wound. So if you just oath a piece and they're outside of 6 or something, they'll just go, well, that's probably dead, because if it's a little trade piece or a skirmishing piece, and they've got I think they've got a power weapon in there. They've got a runic priest guy who has a decent shooting attack. You've got the wolf, the actual little wolf who just runs around, and they just seem like a really point efficient, small infiltratey skirmishy based unit, which I think has obviously done them really, really well. So I think that's my take on this so far. Obviously, stay tuned for Matt's actual take on this. He wrote it. He will know more than me. But I think the general vibe I get from this is he's taken good stuff. He's taken a few, cute pieces which we haven't seen before and done really well with it and just played really well.
Excellent. That's what I love to see. And as you said, watch out for that video. So then we've got Brett on Tau. And he got to Top Cup. Will on Space Marines. I mean, I'm going to assume it's Gladius, but I will do him the honor of having a check. It's Ultramarines. There's some Futures cards, so we won't talk about that. Sisters up there. Nice to see Greg on his Eldar. More Marines. Admech, they had a pretty good time. Harley also went 4-1. He's only lost to Nash, but he was on stream twice. So if you want to see Admech being played, go check that out. So it's a lot of Eldar at the top, a lot of Victrix Guard. Boxy there with Deathwatch. I know Mike on Deathwatch as well. I was very curious to see how Chaos Demons would do, especially this sort of Zinch build that I'd heard so much about. That doesn't appear to have made it. I mean, Byron's always good value for doing really well, but he's still on Demonic Incursion. So there we go, guys. There's a lot of Eldar, a lot of Eldar.
Yeah.
A lot of the Eldar have done well. Let's say that. So yeah, we're going to expect that to change. Now I hear
The Harlequins just dropped. The Harlequins just
Yeah.
dropped.
I guess we should probably immediately
Yeah.
react to that. Just why not?
Immediately react to that. Look, we're live, you know.
We are live. We're going to immediately react to that
Oh
because
no.
I mean, as someone who played Harlequins for over a year, I've played them at 2 RTTs this year, and I have found them. Well, I've struggled with them, shall we say? So
Yeah, we had a great game, didn't we, Chris?
yeah, I got to play into Jack's Knight Army. I was like, well, I can't actually kill you, so this is going to be fun.
Was it fun?
What I found is they lost their tricks, right? And so I wanted the tricks. So let's have a go. So detachment rule, everyone. Weapons equipped by Harlequins mounted and Harlequins vehicles. So that's going to be your Skyweavers, which are your bikes, which are potentially haywire. That's going to be your Star Weavers, which are your transports, and your Void Weavers, which are your guns, which do sweet bugger all. Have sustained hits 1. Okay, so we're going to get sustained now on your bikes and vehicles. Each time a Harlequin unit from your army disembarks from a transport till the end of the turn, that unit's weapons have sustained. So basically, and that's kind of how Harlequins play, because you can get back into a transport or Star Weaver after you fought something if it's dead or you're all apart from it. So you're going to be able to get out of your vehicle, run, charge, and now you're going to be slightly better at killing them because you're going to have sustained hits 1. So we've tried to improve the output of this army, not through rerolls, but through sustained hits 1. Okay. Troop units from your army gain battle line keyword, and troop models in those units have an objective control. That was already, yeah, that's just traveling players. Cool. Right, let's have a look at these enhancements then. Harlequin's model only, excluding the Solitaire. Models in the Bears unit have the Scout 6 ability. I feel like you could already give them Infiltrate. So Scout 6, I guess, is reasonably similar.
Yeah, it's the thing. I don't think you can give them infiltrate, right?
No, there was an enhancement in the other detachment. Infiltrate. Was it the solid? I remember I'd infiltrate the Shadow Seer brick, so it might be a Shadow Seer ability. Can't actually.
Yeah, maybe.
So Scout 6. I mean, cool, nice.
It's fine. Yeah, it's good.
Fine. Troop Master, add 3 to the strength and add 1 to the attacks characteristic. Okay, Troop Master is okay. He's like the only source of damage too in the apart from the Solitaire. So it gets him up to an extra strength. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. Is he maybe strength 5 at the moment? So going up to 8.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think he is. Yeah.
Strength 8. Maybe you can give them like pluses to wound and rerolls to hit or wound or something.
But, to be honest, when you go into the strats later, like there is actually some spice.
Okay, cool. Right, so that's
the enhancements aren't exciting, but
Okay.
not all of them aren't exciting. But like the excitement here is in the strats and the interactions with transports,
Okay,
and I'll from what I can read.
Okay, cool. Ed, as usual, skipping straight ahead.
Damn right.
And Lear, Death Jester. Is a Death Jester going to be fun? When using the Bear's Cruel Amusement ability, that's where you pick a thing and you always pick Sustain 3. You can select 2 of the abilities for a streak you can to gain instead of 1. I can't remember what the other 2 are.
The big one is the big one was precision, right? Because you could never have sustained and precision, whereas now you can. So he actually becomes, I think, a pretty good character sniper with that.
He does indeed. He can basically have precision and sustain 3, and that's pretty good.
Minus 2 damage, is it?
Yeah,
minus 2 damage, yeah. And I think he has a battle shock ability as well, right?
Yeah, whenever he kills a model in a unit. And then finally, Shadow Seer. Have they made the Shadow Seer relevant? After both players have deployed their armies, select up to 3 Harlequin units to redeploy, and you can put in the structures. I mean, Fine.
It's cute. I like a redeploy.
Yeah, we all love a redeploy. Right, okay, so this is where the spice is, according to Ed. So let's dive in and see this spice. Fangs of the Brood, 1 CP. At the start of the fight phase, when you're using your unit's Dance of Death ability, you can select 3 of the abilities for your unit to gain instead of 1. Oh man, I haven't played this in so long, but it's something like rerolls.
It's real. One's to hit, one's to wound, and -1 to hit back.
There you go. So you get all of them.
Yeah, all of them.
So that's quite nice. It does a job.
It's pretty good. I like it.
It's going to help you sustain slightly.
Mm-hmm.
In our shooting phase, a vehicle which is about to shoot, after your unit has shot, if it is not within engagement range, it can make a normal move of up to 6 inches. So your Void Weavers are going to be able to fire and fade. Basically.
Yeah, or you could do it with transports.
You can fire and fade transports. Yeah, I guess so. You've got guys in the transport shooting their fusion stuff, and they could run away 6.
That bit's cute. I like it. It's
or you get out, run, and go do your charge far away, and then move your gun and fire and fade closer so they can chop something up and get back into the transport.
So there's actually a better way of doing that. So effectively, you know the Star Weaver. I'm skipping ahead again, but you can carry on reading and you'll see it.
This is Ed. This is Ed. Through and
I can't help it.
Okay, we'll come back to that shortly, or whatever you were going to say. So in the charge phase, advance the charge, right? That's been something that is obviously Eldar have been quite slow, slower than they thought. So we do love a bit of advance and charge. Okay, so we'll definitely take advance and charge. My laptop's just decided to be super slow all of a sudden. Sorry about this, everyone.
It's all right.
It's just come on, just being tentative here. Oh, come on. We nearly. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm just going to read these ones. Skyward Lunge. End of your opponent's fight phase. Go into Deep Strike if you're not in engagement range.
Yeah,
Take that.
it's pretty good.
Take that.
I like that.
And that's vehicles or mounted. So Skyweaver unit can kind of redeploy and get somewhere new to shoot with, or whatever. Your opponent's movement phase just after an enemy ends a normal advance or fallback move. You can make a normal move up to 6. Great reactive moves. We all love reactive moves.
Love reactive moves.
Harlequin's obviously very known for being tricksy, so that makes sense. Obviously, you could embark into something after that. And then finally, the world's slowest laptop. Right, end of your fight phase. 1 Harlequin's mounted unit, so that's your Skyweavers. If your unit is not within engagement range, it can make a normal move. Otherwise, your unit can make a fallback move of up to 6. That's quite fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was this thing you were going to say, Ed?
Well, effectively, it means that what you can do with this is the amount of like the amount of transport shenanigans you can do with this is pretty impressive. So number one, having up and down on the vehicles means you can basically always have rapid ingress threats from units in transports, which is one of the things which I think is really quite cool here. Sustained is obviously bumps up your damage quite a bit throughout this attachment. Obviously, you have a natural issue of low strength and low AP and looking for depths and shit like that. But apart from that, the main thing that I like about this is there's a lot of things you're going to be able to do with these Star Weavers because I think are going to be really annoying for people. Like reactive moving back in, make a fallback move, going back in, get a shot, I'll move, go back in. Like there's if you have transports littered everywhere and you have like loads of little trade pieces and all that sort of thing. I'm not saying it's going to be good, and there's going to be certain armies that's just going to walk towards it and body it, but it is very Harlequin-esque, and it is very cool. I think as I'm reading this has got me excited about Harlequins. I don't think they're going to be the most competitive option for Eldar, but damn, I think it's really good. Also, it's like the mounted one, right? Like end of your fight phase. If you're eligible to fight this phase, if you're not within engagement range, you can make a normal move, or otherwise you can make a fallback move. That means you can move out, charge, and then move back like 14 inches or something stupid. Like that's a long way to be able to just fall back. Fallback
move of up to 6. On
Well, no, or if you're not within engagement range of one of anymore, you should make a normal move.
if you should kill them. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you kill them, or not even if they kill them, if something kills them, like, and they're eligible to fight, you can just move off, Like if you charge 2 units in, and let's say, for instance, you charge a unit, you charge the Vikes in, you charge the Harlequins in, the Starweaver flies up next to it, they make the fallback, you get the Harlequin mounted that run off somewhere and be annoying, and then the Harlequins get back in at the end of the fight phase, and they can just run off again. And then if anything, and then the next thing that's alive, if they want to threaten that Starweaver, it gets shot, it can move off, it can move away. And there's just so many little interactions you'll be able to do with this. It's all very cute, and it's all very low damage and trying to outskill your opponent, right? Now, in a world of Victrix, this is not going to probably work. I accept this, but it is very cool. It's very Harlequin-y, and I very much like this detachment for what it's worth, which is a Grotmus detachment landed at the end of 10th. I think it's very cool.
Yeah, I think the Harlequin players' issue have been that the army or the detachment, original one, just didn't really feel like Harlequins. You play Harlequins because you enjoy all the jank, right? And in 9th edition, obviously, they had that time where they were insanely broken, and they spent quite a while being very strong. And since then, they've kind of just been non-existent. So it's certainly, as you say, it's big-brained. Unfortunately, I think sometimes you can be as big-brained as you like, but as you say, if someone just runs at you and punches you in the face, that's an issue. And these strats don't particularly increase your output. Is sustained good enough to suddenly give you that little over edge of output? I'm not sure. Jack, you played, obviously, Liam Vissel, who was running a few Harlequin units and stuff. What do you think this detachment looks like?
It reads like a fun detachment. It's definitely not going to answer the big stats blocky type lists. I think you look at it, you go, right, okay, so I'm playing against Admech, so those 10 infiltrators are going to kill 5 of my units in my activation. And there is no outplaying that, right? That is what it is. I think maybe when the meta returns to a bit more of a stable normal, rather than having the few outliers we have at the minute, I think you'll be able to play this and you'll have a good time. You won't feel bad for playing it. Again, I'll be honest, another pretty solid Christmas addition to the Grotmus detachments. So far, we're 3 for 4, so let's get that guard one chucked in the bin as soon as possible, and we can all move on with our lives quite happily.
Yeah, I really like it. I think it's something I would use at an RTT or something like that. And I'm like, I want to use my Harlequin models that I own. I'm going to go and take my 30 Harlequins out for a nice little joyride, and it's going to be fun. Absolutely. And so that I think that's exactly what Grotmus should be for, right? That's why I think the Night Lord one, fantastic. Blood Angel one, fantastic. This one, fantastic. The Guard one, whatever. We'll discuss that. But I think this one's a really, really cool addition. I'd be excited to use this.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So I'm sure we'll have to try and get maybe a fight night on using some of the Grotmus detachments, just trying to show some of the tricks and that sort of thing. So yeah, there you go, Harlequin main, something to feast on. Obviously, Harlequins at the beginning of 9th edition, I want to say, were super strong with Skyweaver spam. This obviously potentially opens it up, but I just think with the current base rules of how you move Skyweavers, that's not going to be likely. Void Weavers you can't spam for good, and I've never rated Void Weavers, so that'll be interesting to see how that goes. And then, as you say, this is very tricksy, but you've probably still not got enough output to run through someone. But we will see. When Liam VSL goes and wins WTC with them, we'll know we're all wrong. Excellent. Right. Well, let's close that then. And it's 2:12. I'm gonna have to go pick up a child from school soon. Right. Okay. Let's go to Who Am I?
I've seen all the questions, Chris.
Hopefully you didn't.
I didn't. I was zoned out. I was looking at the data sheet on a Void Weaver.
Sorry, we just write down the answer. I think it is right now.
As always, feel free to play along with our Who Am I game, but please don't write your ideas in the chat because Jack Type's a naughty boy and will definitely cheat.
He definitely will.
Clue number 1. This character wears power armor.
If you get this correct straight away, by the way, I'm going to fall with you. Just saying.
I'm pretty sure I did see a word later on in the questions that has influenced this first one. So
You motherfucker. I already know who it is. Unlucky for you. Do you know why? Because I know Chris. I'm playing the player. I'm playing
Not this
the player.
again.
Yes. I don't know what it is.
Excellent. Number 2. The origins of this character begin during the Horus Heresy. The origins of this character begin during the Horus Heresy. I might just check in on our WhatsApp group, on our news channel, just to see how people are reacting to the new one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, breaking news. From February the 1st, ticket prices will move from £60 to £75 for UKTC events.
Ooh.
What was your thoughts on that, Jack Type?
They better come with more space because I think at this point the idea of prices going up and quality not improving
£75
is
for a
not.
ticket.
Yeah, I think at this point the event quality has to improve substantially if they want to increase ticket prices.
That is a bold move. I mean, we charge £65, which is slightly more expensive, but we provide a goodie bag.
I mean, ultimately, we're at the point where at Leicester they had 2 of 3 food vans drop at the last minute and had no replacements sorted.
It's a bold move.
There's a level of quality that I think people are expecting now that is not there currently.
It's a lot. It's a lot as well. Like if you look at it over the course of like 3 or 4.
We're going to 1 month, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is spicy.
Yeah, it's like an extra like $5,000.
I feel that might backfire on them. We'll see.
Maybe.
Oh, Jack Chapman's not happy about the Harlequin one. Okay, anyway, back to the important stuff. So, clue 3 is a quote. The truth is never a single blade. It is 1,000 edges, and each one cuts. The truth is never a single blade. It is 1,000 edges, and each one cuts. Clue 4. I walk in shadow, but do not mistake me for the darkness. I walk in shadow, but do not mistake me for the darkness. Also, hello Patrick. Nice that you're watching me. I will definitely get gaming soon. We've got to, as Davey points out, Harlequins can't run away from indirect. So
yeah, it's true.
When those mortars are popping the Star Weavers, then we're all good. Yeah. And clue 5. This character's intentions are still unknown. This character's intentions are still unknown. Right, okay. So, clue number 1. This character wears power armor. Ed, who did you go for?
I went for Captain Tycho. I was like, I know Chris, and it turned out I was wrong, but hey.
I like that. Jack, who did you go for?
I said Cypher, but I think I saw all the questions, so we'll see.
Okay, so it was, okay, interesting.
I think if I am correct, we just wiped my score off because I saw the questions at the start.
So, Jack, did you stay with Cypher the whole time?
I did.
Okay, right, let's see what Ed did. Ed, the origins of this character begin during the Horus Heresy. Who did you go for?
I said Alfarius.
Is that Alfarius? Okay, cool. And then clue 3, the truth is never a single blade. It is 1,000 edges and each one cuts.
I said Alfarius because I just didn't ever hear that quote. So
yeah. I walk in shadow, but do not mistake me for the darkness.
I still wrote Alfarius because I still never heard of that.
And then this character's intentions are still unknown.
I still wrote with Alfarius because that's the one thing that actually sounded like Alfarius.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, funnily enough, Ed, it was Cypher.
As soon as he said cipher, I knew I was wrong. I just never heard of those quotes. I was like, I've just never heard of them. I don't know.
It's all right, it doesn't matter because we're just wiping this one off.
Yeah, exactly.
Chris showed me all the questions. So,
I mean, even reading all of those, it still doesn't necessarily say what was the bit that gave away cipher then.
This character's intention is still mystery.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, I thought that said identity, but it didn't matter. I didn't.
I mean, that also works.
Yeah, just say
Chat's talking a bit about the price change, 15% increase. Yeah.
Is it 15? I thought it was 60 for.
No, 15% increase. So it's £60 a ticket. It's now going to be 75.
That's not 15, is it?
15%, is it?
That's 25. It's like,
big old deal. Come on, mate.
Pretty sure that's 25%, right?
So yeah,
that's massive. It's huge.
That's a lot,
especially since there's no prizes. It's wild. Well, not no prizes. That's the wrong quote.
But why £15? That's a huge jump. Maybe it's explained on the UKTC Discord.
We're not even live, John. This is just we've got it wrong. We're just guessing now. We actually just knew exactly what was going to happen.
I don't know if it's been announced. But anyway,
25% increase is a lot considering what has happened over the last while.
Yeah, but, it's a lot of money. So anyway, we've got no lists. That's sad. As always, if you are a member of our YouTube channel, we do have over 150 members at the moment, and we're dropping weekly member content, amongst other things. The new King of the Ping is coming up, which is our TTS League, which always has around 40 to 50 people enter. I've had nothing but good things. I really, really wish I could play. I just unfortunately don't have the time. But yeah, everyone who plays in it loves it. David does an amazing job, and every season he upscales it and makes it even better. So to enter that, you have to be a member and that sort of thing. So definitely go check that out on our Discord. But you can also, as a member, submit lists and we will analyze them. But we haven't got any this week, but John Black did send a couple of questions. So he says, what would changing competitive round times to either around 75 or somewhere between 75 and 120 minutes actually do to the game as a whole? So let's say we now have 2 hours rather than 3 hours, even at a push, 2 hours instead of 3 hours. What happens to 40k if we now only get 2 hours to play our rounds?
I mean, everyone would clock out. So not everyone, but because there'll be some people would be fine, right? But as a whole, it would change the way people play 40k because it would be based around how to finish games rather than actually play them correctly. So people would just be making decisions and all that sort of thing. And obviously, then I think would also evolve the clock culture a lot more. If you only have 2 hour round times, I do think everyone would always play on the clock all the time, and that's fine. That's totally okay, and because I try to as well. But I think that's the sort of change it would do. But I think the big thing here is it would change the entry level of what the 40k offers. I think if you say the rounds are now 2 hours rather than 3 hours, then the actual entry level of 40k is going to be a really hard thing to actually get into because you'd never finish a game when you just start 40k. Because when I first started 40k, I'd play for 4 hours with 1,000 points. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Imagine if you just start playing competitive 40k and it was a 2 hour round time, you wouldn't get past turn 2 because you're reading what a Harlequin's power weapon does on turn 2. But I think that's the changes that would happen. Therefore, let's just pray to God that never happens because it'd just be a negative, awful thing.
Yes, yeah, I think the most important point there is it's not at all a level playing field. Just because, as you say, some people just genuinely can't. You literally just have to be planning your turn in your opponent's turn and just move your stuff, roll your dice, and.
John said he means 70 minutes, 120 minutes each. So yeah, 2 hours each. 2 hours. Oh, so it's got more. I think yeah. If there's more time, then it'd probably just be harder to fit the 5 rounds in to
That's
try.
WTC, right? WTC is 4 hours.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think generally speaking, if you have a 4 hour round time, it would improve the game overall because obviously WTC is much more chill and all that sort of thing. The issue is facilitating that in singles tournaments would be hard.
Yeah. Fair
Yeah.
play.
Yeah, we get what you're saying now, John. I think it would improve the game if you have more time, but I just think it's really hard to facilitate in,
The reality of it, yeah.
I have a completely different take on what would happen.
Woo!
I think they would just start changing the points values that we play at. Because historically, whenever we've had big issues with round times throughout the editions, they've changed the number of points used in games rather than going, okay, let's play faster or slower, because obviously for a long time no one used clocks, right? Those weren't a thing.
Yeah.
So you just change points values as what stuff went up or down. If you make 4-hour rounds, maybe people go, oh, well, now we can put 2,500 points on the table and no one runs out of time. So let's do that. Or with just over an hour, you go, okay, you can only take 1,250 points because it's the only thing we can get done with an hour of playtime each consistently.
Yeah. That's interesting.
That's fair. I haven't thought about it like that, but yeah, that totally could be a thing.
His other question was, should streams be used for judging purposes when all other live games don't have a stream?
Great question. I've personally experienced this in a negative way, so I will answer this. So effectively, I went to LVO, and the stream that I was on was used to judge a call that I disagree with, because basically it was interaction at the table. Basically, I was in the impression he wasn't on an objective, and then afterwards, because it was and that's something, and he was basically said that he was on it, but he wasn't on it because we had that conversation in the stream and there was no audio on the stream. Basically, the judges changed the scores, and I was like, cool. So I lost round one after winning round one, after 2 rounds had been paired. So I think using streams to judge when it's very clear and concise that something has happened and you can do it at the table, fine. But if you're using it to edit results, 2 rounds later, then just stop. Especially so you don't understand the context of information that's happened behind what's happened in that scenario if there's no audio on the stream. So that would be my standpoint. I think it's fine as long as you actually have all the information to make that decision. But if you don't, then don't. Basically.
Yeah. Jack?
Pretty similar boat, really, where it's for active judging to happen on a stream and for it to be actively judged, players must be mic'd because you can't miss context. And 2, issues must be rectified within an acceptable time of them happening. I think UKTC actually does has a very good stance on this, by the way. They've always said, look, if we catch something on stream, we'll fix it. If we can't fix it, we just go, this is Warhammer, stuff like this happens, and we play on. That's the way it should be, right? It's okay to have people on stream go, this needs fixing, as long as it's fixed quickly and doesn't become a big headache or a bigger headache or a bigger problem somewhere further down the line.
Yeah, I agree. I just think this, as you say, I think the bigger thing for me is the audio, because that really got me. I was just not happy at all. I never went back because of that judge call to LVO. Never went back.
It'll scar you, right? Of course.
I just wouldn't go back. I spent almost $2,000 to go to LVO, and I lost my round 1 because someone decided they wanted to win. I was like, cool. Awesome.
No figure. Shout out to Max, who says, by the way, regarding the list doctrine, my Yanari went positive at Leicester 3-2. Yeah, I saw that.
Good lad.
You kind of did what you'd expect of Yanari, which is bound to win some matchups and then just run into something which you just can't deal with. But no, and I'm sure it was a lot of fun. I would love to get mine out at some point. Right, let us finish. I don't even know how long the show's been going on for. Let's finish with a couple of Dear Deirdres. So, we got Charlie here. He says, Dear Deirdre, my Warhammer models are slowly taking over our 3rd bedroom/office. Is it time to scale back my armies? He's got 3 armies of around 7,000 points each. Or is it more sensible to buy a bigger house to accommodate? Alternate storage solutions may be considered. So he's not definitely saying he's going to get a new house. I assume other people may utilize storage boxes in a shed garage, for example. Okay, so What do we think, guys? Is 3 armies of around 7,000 points? Is that
I think Jack's the expert on
I,
storing
I've,
lots of
I, I've,
Warhammer.
I know what you need. What you need is a caravan, right? Because then you put all your armies in the caravan, and you no longer have to have hotels for events. You see, and you can then decide what you want to run a bit more on the spot. Just put it all in the caravan. Much easier. Job done.
Yeah, I think 3 armies of about 7,000 points each. I don't know what your armies are, whether they're Admech or Tyranids, like Swarm or something. But like, what I have is a storage unit where I just dump everything. Like, I don't know how many points of stuff I have, but I've got a storage unit full of Warhammer. Like, every few months I'll just go through and be like, oh look, there's a CSM army here.
there's 40 possessed?
Yeah, I found the 40 possessed, which you can't actually field, and have never been able to field. But I found 40 possessed in a CSM army. Just stuff that I built and was like, I'm going to paint this, and then never painted it and left it there. But I think a storage unit is a good way to do it. I wouldn't recommend dialing back on your armies with your collections. I sell a lot of stuff, and I regret about 60% of it. So if you, especially if you only have 3 armies, I'd just get some storage space, or maybe even look at trying organizing your space a little bit better to try and store some more models.
As an actual serious answer,
the caravan.
The caravan,
yeah. Sheds are a perfectly fine solution for most Warhammer models.
Plastic boxes.
Yeah, right. As long as they're in plastic boxes, you'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, because I've used like cardboard KR cases a couple
of times.
No,
you don't
integrated.
Yeah, no, don't put anything card or paper related in the shed because it will destroy itself over a space of a year.
It just melted. It was so fun.
But yeah, I mean, I have a shed full of Warhammer, and I think for most people, you'll be hard pressed to ever need more than your house and a shed. So I guess when you get to that point, storage units. I don't know, maybe even a local cheap office, right? You could probably rent. There's local cheap offices for me that are like for a room, for a couple of rooms, it's like a couple £100 a month. Something like that would maybe do.
Yeah, well, I like my storage unit. It's very useful. So throw everything in there.
I use my parents' house. They have a 5-bedroom house, and one room is basically you can't walk into it because it's full of crap. So that's my approach to it.
There was no list surgery today, sunshiny res.
Because no one submitted any lists, buddy. That I saw. I don't think I missed any. If I did, then it'll be next Monday. I imagine all of our members will be like, "Here's my new post data slate list."
Oh, there's going to be so many next
week.
We're
going to have like 10 different armies to talk through, which will be great fun.
I didn't tell you I'm busy next week, boys. I can't.
Right, guys. When you make your list for next week's show, can you at Chris when you make them, please?
Yeah,
Chris would love to go through and do them all.
And remind him to type out if there's every bit of war gear, any enhancements, all that sort of thing.
Every single week doing the PowerPoint, the worst part is having to write up the lists. That is genuinely. Right. Final thing of the show, of our 3-hour show or however long it's been. This is from poor Mr. Lomas Toman, shall we say? Nobody takes the Night Lords or their rules seriously. How do I finally convince people that ganking on a battle-shocked unit at least some of the time is to be feared, not giggled at?
Use a unit of 10 warp talents and a Lord. Make them battle-shocked to make them dead. And then vibe. And then
I've got a solution. You take your Night Lord's colour scheme and you put it on 18 Victrix Guard, and then they're immediately more terrified of you than they've ever been with you playing Night Lords.
I am the saddest person ever to hear that sentence from your mouth. This was the lowest point of my 40k career. This exact moment, hearing Jack Tight suggest Victrix Guard to someone. This is awful. This is a waste. This hour and 15 minutes has just been wasted from that sentence. Oh dear. But yeah, I think that would make it more scary.
That is entirely fair.
And take Raptors. That's the tech. because they cause Battle Shock. It's good.
Is that the new name for JPI?
Ray says, I sent one last week that I thought they'd go for. I can't find that. Can't find that on the section where you're supposed to submit the list. So either you put it in the wrong place or I'm going blind. So
just make sure everyone at him so he doesn't miss a single thing next week.
Message me on Discord and I will add it to whatever next. Although you obviously might want to tweak it after this week when the balanced data state comes along. Right, guys, that's the end of the show. It's been a real time, guys. We've what have we done? We started. We stopped again. We got to look at Victrix Guard. We got to look at brand new Harlequins, and it's just been a fun time. It's an hour and 15 minutes, so not actually that long. But it's been a fun time. Hopefully you have enjoyed it as well. Thank you very much for joining in. It's always good to have the chat joining us and chatting, so we can kind of we can bounce off you. Coming up this week, there's going to be a couple of live shows in the evenings, maybe Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll have to wait and see.
Maybe Saturday.
Maybe Saturday. Maybe all the time. Who knows? And on top of that, there'll be a bunch of content from us. And Ed will be busy painting his Tervagon. And doing, of course, his charity show. So go check that out and go check out our GoFundMe as well if you would love to. That'd be great. But yes, until next time, where hopefully there'll be slightly less technical glitches and probably like a 3-hour show, we will see you next time. Take care. Goodbye.